Hello Muswellbrook, we're here with Muswellbrook Mayor Jeff Drayton for the first episode of Council Wrapped. Now Jeff, one topic that always gets people talking is bulky waste. Can you give us an update following last night's discussion around that?
I can, Kate. It does get people talking. So last night, Council made a decision. Council, some months ago, directed staff to go away and do some investigations into changing the method we use to collect bulky waste. So that method will be changed. So you'll still have 2 pickups a year, but you'll now get to choose how that bulky waste gets picked up. And that'll be, you can book your bulky waste in. There'll be periods where you can ring up and you can book your bulky waste in, and council will come and pick it up, as has happened prior. The periods of time will be a smaller window, so we don't see rubbish out on people's footpaths for months before the bulky waste pick up. There'll be a small window of a few days where you can get your bulky waste out on the footpath. Or alternatively, if you don't want to ring up, or if you don't want that bulky waste out on your footpath, you'll have the ability to use a voucher system where you'll be able to go to the Muswellbrook Waste Facility and drop that waste off yourself. So and that will be the choice of the ratepayer. So you'll be able to, whether you want to drop, you'll have 2 a year, the same as we do now, whether you want it picked up twice a year, or whether you want to use both vouchers, or whether you want a voucher and the other one to be a pickup. It'll be a choice of each household. And so it'll be an improvement. Hopefully a couple of things we've had for a while, the community telling us they'd rather just a voucher to take their own waste to the facility. And of course, we understand there's some people who just haven't got the ability to be able to do that. But the waste pick up, when council pick it up, will be a much smaller window where it will be out there. So we won't see rubbish, sitting on people's out in front of people's houses for months before the waste pick up, or for months waiting for it to get picked up. It will only be there for a much smaller amount of time.
Last night, Council also discussed the proposed half-day public holiday for the Big Dance and the Mayor's Cup. Why is that event so important for Muswellbrook, and has a decision been made?
Well, no, Kate, the decision's been made in regards to council. So what the process is now, council will now send that off to the state government. They're the body who approve or don't approve the public holiday. So council worked with the Muswellbrook Race Club. We also put a community survey out, and the majority of those the survey responses were positive that they wanted those in. They all weren't, of course, and we can understand people. It's purely the choice of people in the community. That's why we put those surveys out. But the majority were positive, wanting it on that day. And that day we talk about will be the Big Dance Day, which happens to also coincide with the Melbourne Cup Day. So it'll be, if it's approved by the state government, that will be a half-day holiday again, as it was last year, as it was previously some time ago. It will be on Melbourne Cup Day, and the half-day holiday for Muswellbrook Shire. But very important, Kate. We're hoping to work with the race club to build that day up to many people. I'm sure in the community can remember that day when it was in fact Muswellbrook Cup Day, attracting thousands of people, and certainly lots and lots of people from outside the area, which again is important to us. So hopefully we'll get back there, and it should be a great day.
Now, this next topic is an important one, particularly during Reconciliation Week. Last night, Council adopted the new Together statement. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah, I can, Kate. So this was a statement for council events, so for council meetings or council-led events. It will replace the current Welcome to Country or Acknowledgement of Country. It will replace it as far as that's what will be read out before each of those meetings. But when I say replace, it doesn't replace it entirely. If someone wants to still do a Welcome to Country, Acknowledgement of Country, of course they're still welcome.
This wasn't something created overnight. Can you talk about the consultation and involvement from the Aboriginal Reference Group, elders and community members?
Yeah, I can, Kate. This has been something in the making for months now, for some 6 or 8 months. So it went through, we have an Indigenous reference group, so they're a large number of representatives from our Indigenous community. We meet on that group regularly. We meet once a month, and it was born out of that committee, where that committee wanted to do something, or to do everything, in fact, they could, to try and bring the entire community together. And I think the statement does exactly that. Certainly congratulate that group. It also went through our youth committee, so we have newly formed youth council for comment as well. And so it's had feedback from a number of people, but certainly I think it's a really good step forward, and I have to congratulate our Indigenous reference group, who, obviously at their request, really wanted to do something, in their words, really wanted to do something genuine about bringing everyone in the community together. So I really have to congratulate that group.
Growth in Denman was another major talking point last night. Can you give everyone a quick update on that?
Okay, Kate. So council we have recognised for some time that Denman, I guess, is a bit of a hot spot in regards to expansion for our shire. So in regards to people moving to the area, there's a couple of large developments in Denman to date that we understand are selling very well. Now, of course, that's great. It's certainly great news for Denman and great news for the shire, but it also brings some problems. It brings some problems. We have to be able to service those people out there in Denman. So last night, the idea of course, the mayoral minute was to form a committee that included, of course, a number of people on the community. It's important that council do include the community, and importantly, out in Denman, we need the input from those, from that community moving forward. So in essence, the community can tell council, what they think we need in Denman, rather than sometimes, council telling them, which is certainly not this council's preferred option.
For anyone in Denman watching this and wanting to get involved, what are the next steps?
Council, Kate, will advertise now the community roles. So it'll go, and those nominees will go back to the June council meeting to be, for councillors to decide how many and who it is that sits on that reference group. We really encourage, everyone in Denman who cares about the community, and of course we know, how tight knit that community is. We really encourage them to put their hand up and, to sit on that committee and certainly advise council into the direction that they want us to head for their community.
Now, what does this mean for the growth of Denman, and why do you think this committee is needed?
Well, Kate, at the moment we're aware of a couple of large residential developments in Denman that have the potential of doubling the population. If those developments do come to completion and are all sold, it will in fact double the size of Denman. So, of course, that's great. It's great news. I say great news for Denman, great news for the shire. But it also, we have to be able to service those people. So it, really positive signs for Denman, but lots of work for council to do. And of course, we really need the community's input into that to make sure we get it right.